guys, so today's video is going to be a first impression foundation video. I'm trying out the new COVERGIRL Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation today. I am wearing it right now and I'm going to show you guys how it applies, my first thoughts, all the usual. I have done a couple of these videos. I will link them below. I think I've done 2 so far. And you guys have seemed to really like them so far, so like this video if you like first impression like foundation videos, or if you have any other like first impressions you want to see, comment below. I was really excited by this. So it's basically like a new foundation that has a bunch of vitamins and like antioxidants and stuff, which is really cool. It has SPF 20, all of that. So I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna quit rambling. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and let's just jump right in. So the cool thing about this is it has a bunch of vitamins. Obviously it has vitamin E, B3, B5, a bunch of antioxidants. And for me, the biggest thing is it has SPF 20. Coverage is supposed to be lightweight, full coverage, SPF 20, vitamins, antioxidants, and it is oil-free. I always like to do half my face with a brush, half with a sponge. The Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. This is my favorite foundation brush. It just does like the best job of like buffing the product in. And I usually use a beauty blender, but I've been trying out the Real Techniques sponge the last couple weeks and I love it. So there is a pump on the foundation. It also has one of those like little twist like on-off applicators, which is cool. So if for some reason you lost the cap or it cracks and kind of is not usable anymore, I like that you can kind of lock the product. I'm just gonna start by doing some little dots. This is like pretty standard for how I apply any kind of like liquid foundation. I just find it makes it a little bit easier for me. Sometimes it gets a little streaky if you dip in the brush and then kind of buff it in. So I always start with just a little bit. Never know what's gonna happen. Okay, so I did one kind of like light layer on my skin. As far as like application, there isn't a whole lot of difference between these two. I think the foundation blended in really well with both. It's supposed to be full coverage. I didn't do like a ton of product, but I can definitely still see a lot of my freckles and some redness and stuff. So I would definitely probably follow up with another layer. I would say it feels pretty lightweight. I don't really feel like much of anything, so so far that's okay. Nothing crazy going on. I went back with a second layer and I would say I got a little bit more coverage out of it. Definitely don't think it's full coverage though. I would say it's more of like a light to medium coverage. I can still see like some redness on my cheeks. Kind of feel the foundation a little bit. When I touch my skin, it feels a little bit tacky, a little bit sticky. It's nothing like crazy, but I can tell there's like a little bit of stickiness. Almost feels like a little bit tight in like the cheeks when I like kind of, you know, I wouldn't say it feels like heavy, like a cakey foundation. It doesn't look cakey at all, but I do kind of feel something there. As far as the color goes, I think this color is a little bit dark for me. I typically can get by with the lightest color on a lot of foundations. To really get it to sort of like look like my skin color and to blend, I have to really blend it in, and then I find that I lose a lot of coverage when I do that. So that could be why I'm not getting a lot of the full coverage. Okay, so those are like my first initial thoughts like after putting it on. So I'm gonna go do the rest of my face and like my eyebrows and stuff, and then I will come back and kind of recap if anything changes or if it kind of looks different. So I will be right back. Okay, I finished the rest of my makeup, so I think it looks a little bit better now that I have everything like my concealer on and like all my bronzer and all that kind of stuff. In like natural lighting, it looks more like my skin tone. It looked a little bit dark When I first put it on, I know sometimes foundation kind of settles too and kind of oxidizes a little bit. I'm gonna watch it throughout the day and see if it changes any, if it lightens up or if it darkens or anything. I do really like the finish, like the appearance. I think it makes your skin look very healthy, very glowy, natural, and pretty. I would still say it's more along like the light to medium coverage for me. It makes like my actual skin look very flawless, very radiant, natural, healthy, all of that. So I really do like that. I'm not always in the mood for like a super heavy, like full coverage finish. So I really like actually how it looks now that I've kind of gotten everything all together. So I'm gonna continue to kind of see how it goes throughout the day. I will either do some update videos or I will put like my final thoughts in the information box below. I will keep you guys posted. So it's been around 5 hours and I wanted to do a really quick update. So for the most part, everything is still looking okay. I have now finally started to see, I say finally like, but this usually happens. I've started to see some settling around like the drier areas for me. So around my nose, a little bit of the foundation settled in like my fine lines there and stuff. Surprisingly, I haven't really seen a whole lot happen up here. There is a little bit of settling around this eyebrow, but usually I get like dry patches that kind of show up or I guess are more emphasized. I did have spaghetti for dinner, so it's kind of worn off around the edges of my mouth. And so you can kind of see the different coloring of the foundation now there because my skin obviously is a little bit lighter. So if you look right around my lips, you can kind of see like my lighter skin tone peeking through. It's holding up pretty good. I will update you guys again in a little bit. I wanted to do one last update. It's been about 8 hours total. Typically I like to go to 10 or more, but I haven't seen a whole lot of change happen in the last 3 hours. So for the most part, everything looks the same. I have worn off a little bit around my chin. That could be from me kind of like touching my face, but it has worn off a little bit there. I want to talk about like the tight kind of feeling. Like earlier I talked about like it felt a little bit tight. It's not bad, it's just sometimes it feels like a little bit of numbness. I don't know if I'm just crazy or what, but I've never noticed that with another foundation before. It's nothing bad. It's actually kind of like firming feeling, which is cool. But definitely just something different. So wear wise, the foundation holds up really well. I also think the color has kind of settled as the day's gone on. So now it looks like a pretty good match. So definitely started off a little dark, and I'm sure there's still a slight difference, but it blends pretty well with my skin overall. I like the finish. I think it's very natural and pretty. But still gives decent coverage, and I'm gonna keep wearing it obviously. So I hope you guys enjoyed my first initial impression. Hopefully it helped you, and thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you later. All right, you guys, so that is everything for today's video. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you guys like this. If you've been thinking about trying this out like I had been, hopefully this gave you some insight. Hopefully it was helpful. I've got like my Instagram and Twitter deets in the description box below. So all the usual. Thank you guys so much as always for watching, and I will catch you guys very soon.